Welcome to the party, pal!
I see you.
No. Sorry about that. I was muted, apparently. I was so excited to get going. So, welcome to Fermented Tuna Tuesday, because I know I'm a day late. And welcome all you citizens of the stars, and I guess all you guys dancing in the field of stars. How's everybody doing today? And I'm with my daughter, and she has something really important to tell you all.
Hi, please like and subscribe.
There you go. Way to be a streamer, kiddo. Way to be a streamer, kiddo. Before we get going, how was your day, Ember?
Good.
Your day was good?
Mm-hmm.
Did you learn anything good in school?
I learned how to do times.
You learned how to do times and multiplications?
Mm-hmm.
Very good, very good. Did you learn anything else in school?
I learned how to do this super hard math equation, and it was plus and times, and you would have to figure out how like that number would go to that number, and then that number would go to that number. You would just be switching it around. Good to not.
All right, she's going to go now so we can get this party started. Thanks, kiddo. Love ya. Be good for your mom, all right? All right. Can you shut that door a little bit? Thank you. So, how is everybody doing tonight? She had to be on the stream. She had to be on the stream. So is everybody doing good? I'm doing fantastic. How's everybody doing on a Wednesday night? Jim, Jay, doing well, I hope. Give me a moment while I set up and get this going.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Gamer, what's up? Shooting people in your inferno. Right on, man. Right on. Yeah. Get this going. Oh, that's not what I want. Are you guys hanging out together shooting people? I'm going to try to get on later. See how that works out for me. We'll do, you know what, we'll mute that and we'll see if I can get this one working. Should be good to go. Chrome? Hello? Chrome? Google Chrome? Oh, man. Man, last night was rough at work. It was a long night. But I'm off today, I'm off tomorrow, and then back to work. So we should be good, though. I should be good, though. I hope I'm good. I logged in and was in for about 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I discovered that I did not have my what do you call it? My A2. What was I missing? My A2, my prospector, a couple other ships that I had. All my ground vehicles are gone. What else was missing? All but my Ursa was gone. What else was missing? Seriously, what else was missing? I had a lot of stuff missing. I couldn't open my inventory, so you know, I don't really know if any of my weapons or anything like that are missing. Some people are reporting that they have like duplicated armors and weapons and all of that other stuff. So we'll see what happens. Like I'm not banking on the fact that I have all of my stuff, but if I do have all my, you know, FPS gear, my armor, my weapons and all of that stuff, I mean, cool, so be it. I didn't have much to begin with at the end of the wipe. I had been doing a lot of fighting and dying in armor. So you know, it is what it is. Like I'm not going to be that upset about it. I am a little upset that the A2's gone, but for those of you that didn't catch the stream a few days ago, I am going to be making a renewed effort at getting better at ship-to-ship PvP, getting better at low flying, and I want to make a focus on pirating as well this patch cycle. It's been rather evident that with no practice, it's been I've gotten really rusty in ship-to-ship PvP. Skeet, what's up? Hey, for anybody that has just joined, are you guys hearing the streamer alerts when you guys come in and you know a sound effect will play? Because when I play it back I don't hear it, and I just want to make sure that while I'm live, are you guys actually hearing it? So for like, okay, cool, Jay, cool. It's real low. Okay, I'll bump it up just a bit. I think it's just maybe it's 2 skeets. that a little bit better? All right. Let's get into it. So, first I think we'd start it off with something funny. You know, I don't do it much, but I try to hit on all things pop culture, you know, not just Star Citizen, because why not? We're all space nerds, right? We all comic book nerds and well, we're just nerds of all nerdy things, aren't we? So I figured we'd start with something funny. I did not watch this, but the thumbnail looks hilarious, so hopefully it's good. This is Batman Fires Aquaman, Batcanned by Pete Holmes. It came out a couple of days ago, and as I said, we're going to be talking 7 of 9. I mean, we could talk 7 of 9. I like 7 of 9. She's she gets my blood going, so to speak. Thank you. There's going to be adult language in here, child. I'm sorry. So anyways, Batman Fires Aquaman, Pete Holmes. Let's get to it. Let's see what he's got. Let's see if he's got something funny for us. And let me know if audio is good. Batcanned. Justice. I already see there's no audio. Give me 1 second. I really don't know why Google's going to continue. Why is that going on? Please, for the love of God. OBS, you're killing me here. That should have it fixed. Whoop. Rewind. Batman cans Aquaman. Still no audio. Still no audio. I'm really sorry, guys. I don't know why Google is doing this to me right now. Let's try again. One last time. There we go.
So, Arthur, thank you for meeting with me.
It is no problem. Got your message? Surfed on a humpback whale? Came straight back here from Iceland.
Cool. Listen, buddy, we're doing a little housekeeping here at the Justice League, and I don't know how to say this, but you're fired.
Wait, what'd you say to me?
What, do you got swimmers here? I know you're not familiar with the concept of fire, because you live under the sea, but you could also say sickened, terminated. I think in Britain they say redundant.
Whoa. I bring the might of Atlantis to the Justice League.
And you're useful as long as we happen to be fighting General Zod next to a lake, or in Miami, or a lazy river in a water park. So you can go off and save the drowning polar bears. But you won't be here with us, water boy.
Whoa. Aquaman.
Sorry, I'm looking at water boy. Or should I call you Bobby Boucher? New Orleans. You can do it!
I can do it. I can do a lot. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Sorry, Aquafina.
Aquaman. And you ask anybody on the Justice League, they'll tell you I am an invaluable member of this team.
Okay. All right, Dasani.
Waiting for him to throw a
Lay it
ball.
on me. Tell me what you can do, Mountain Valley Spring.
Okay. I can communicate with every living creature living in our vast oceans.
Okay. Talks to fish. Got it.
Also,
I'm gonna stop you right there, because I know your powers. It's talks to fish. The rest of the page is blank. For office use only.
I have sonar.
Yeah, for talking to fish.
I have super hearing.
So you can listen to fish?
I can breathe underwater.
Because that's where the fish you talk to are.
Night vision.
So you can find the fish if you ever want a nighttime chinwag.
I can do a lot more than just talk to fish, okay? I can transport the entire Justice League by manipulating the waves of the ocean.
Oh, wow. You know what else can transport people on the ocean? A boat. Are you faster than a boat?
Yeah, I'm faster than a boat, like a slow boat. Way faster than a slow boat.
What about a normal to fast boat, like a medium salsa boat?
About the same.
We'll stick to boats.
You know what? I don't have to listen to this when I wield the mighty trident of Neptune. So?
That's your trident?
Yeah.
Trident? How many dents you see on that trident?
There's no dents at all, man. It's clean.
How many pokies?
Bunch.
A trident's supposed to be 3, dipshit.
There's 3. Look. 1. Another 1. 2. Also 2. The 3rd one in the middle, bro.
That's a fucking spork, you idiot. You look like an underwater farmer who grows his own hemp. 4 out of 5 dentists agree. Your trident is inaccurate.
Listen, you
This is-
insignificant mortal. The
this
insults
is
you
great.
wielded today will never
so
be
glad
forgotten.
this guy did this, 'cause
I
Aquaman
swear
kinda
it by
sucks.
the beard of Poseidon.
Sorry, man. I put up with that as long as I could, but as soon as you leaned this way, you wafted low tide all over me. Now it smells like a bait shop down by the bayou in August. You smell like a third date.
Indrid,
went
what's
really
up, man?
Well.
It's third
Stop
date.
it. Stop that.
That's what you
I
just
wonder
did
if he
to me.
smells like
But at least mine smells
tuna.
like cotton fresh mist.
Listen, I don't have to take this, all right? I have more power in my scaled dick than you do, my batted friend.
I'm
Whoa.
a scaled dick.
Everybody knew that.
That sounds like something I would say to you to make fun of you, but you're just offering it up. You know what? Let me speak this in a way you can understand.
What was that?
This Batman is
sorry.
great.
I thought you could speak, sea creature. That was eat my whole ass in dolphin.
You know what? I quit.
You look like the pool boy in a porno. If you're so helpful to sea creatures, where were you in the documentary The Cove? Haunting!
Guys, that was great. That was great. I know I didn't react too much to that, but hey, you know, I'm going to add my like to the 31,000 likes that are already out there. That was Batman Fires Aquaman by Pete Holmes. I thought we'd start with something funny before we got into some more serious stuff. I got another, you know, Star Wars thing we're going to go over again today, but we're going to get into some Star Citizen first. I know I've seen a few thumbnails of this, and I tried to stay away from it. I tried not to look at them for too long. I really want to see this and give you my opinion, but I think it's going to be along the lines of what I saw on some of the thumbnails. This is the long haul, the MISC Hull C, and this is one of the official Star Citizen trailers. And we're gonna break down this trailer. We're gonna break down this trailer. So first things first, we're gonna back this up just a little bit. What planet has this many lights on it? And not only that, which space station has this much traffic near it? You can't. Nope. I'm pretty sure you can't dock to load. You have to go into the invisible loading area. Well, it's not invisible, but you have to go to the loading area, and then your stuff magically gets stacked to the side of your hull MISC. So, you know, I sometimes wish CIG would put as much money. They put in a lot of money to make these trailers. but I would really prefer if they put that money elsewhere, not Squadron 42, but into some of the stuff in the persistent universe and make that work. And we'll get into that in a minute. I see some Argo moles loading the stuff. We know that's not happening. And how pissed would Hull C owners be if it took... Yeah, you have to dock to buy the cargo, but then you don't get loaded while you're docked. And what I was going to say was, how pissed would Hull C owners be if they had to wait for a bunch of Argo moles to, or are those SRVs? I forget what they are, but to wait for individual ships to load up these boxes. And they had to wait there for, say, an hour and a half. Off he goes. Oh, okay, here's another very unrealistic thing. Now, let's say he actually had cargo of value on here. Do you really want Reliant Tanas flying next to you? I would want something with more teeth. Oh, hey, look, it's Pyro. Is Pyro in the game, guys? Look, it's Pyro. Look at Pyro. Isn't it so nice? We've been waiting for 4 years. Dock to offload, which that's not happening. And do you guys actually think Pyro, a space station at Pyro, is going to be this busy, especially with cargo haulers? I don't think so. And not unless it was going to be like buku money. Okay. Look, we got some javelins. We got an Icarus. I can't see everything here. What is that ship? Yeah, it looks like this ship right here. That's definitely not in game yet either. And the Hull C does not handle like that. Whoa, what was that ship? Squirrel, what's up, man? What ship was that? I want to back it up just a little bit more. Okay, no, it was just a Hull C. It was just, when I glanced at it, it looked weird. So that was the Star Citizen fully loaded Hull C. You know, I'm not gonna watch it through again, but there's a lot of fallacies in this, and I think it's I don't think it's a good thing to do this sort of thing with your trailers. I mean, look, like I said, what spaceport is this full, and what planet has this many city lights on it? I'm not going to outright call this lies, but this is pretty, I'm
bringing 30 grenades.
Bubs,
Yeah.
what's up? Man, we got a full house tonight. We got Squirrel, we got Bubs. Speaking of which, let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. I've been hard at work at this too. Let's see if this works. Shout out Space Bub. Shout out Space Bub. Shout out Squirrel. Shout out Squirrel. Nah.
Fresh meat.
I'll fix it. I'll fix it. But yeah, I really don't like things like this. It's, you know, like right here, there's Pyro. They jump into Pyro. They go and land at the spaceport in Pyro. It's very busy at Pyro. You know, you can see more Argos. You can see a Caterpillar. There's a Cutlass right there. You know, this part really kind of upset me a little bit. They jump in from it, or they get interdicted, and look at that. You got javelins, you got Iteruses. It looked like a Polaris or something like that flies by on the screen at one point. I don't know. Spend the money elsewhere, guys. I mean, yeah, make your little trailers and stuff like that, but make it more indicative of what the game is, and not, because look, I really would not want to be one of those guys that spends $500 on a whole C and game package, and then get into this game, and I'm expecting this. I'm expecting this, and I get what we have in game. That would be heartbreaking to me if I spent $500 and this is what I see, and then I get what's currently in game. I would be very, very upset by that. I would be really upset by that. I'd probably be asking for my money back at that point. You know.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I don't disagree, Spark. I don't disagree, Spark. Squirrel, it's always good to take breaks, man. It's always good to take breaks. And I'm sorry you had to drop your 2 semesters at college, man. That sucks. But yeah, this is not good. I don't like that. I don't think it's a good idea to do things like this, and I don't know. I don't think it's not a good look. To me, it's not a good look. And I don't think you should. I don't think you should do it. I really don't think you should do it. And back to that, spending $500 sight unseen. I don't think that's a very good idea. I don't. You know, I really think, especially if you're going to spend that kind of money, you should really, really, really do your due diligence and make sure that this is the game that you want and this is what you're getting into. But yeah, I shame on you, Sig. CIG. I think you should do, as JT would say, do better. Do better. Let me try this one more time. Shout out Squirrel. Shout out Spacebub. Yay, it worked. But yeah, CIG, do a better job with your trailers. At least show people what they're actually getting into, and not what you want, not what we want to play, but what you're actually allowing us to play. That's what I think. Please do that. Please. Moving on. We'll do another Star Citizen thing, and then we're going to move on to we'll do this one. We'll do this one. And then I got a Star Wars one for you guys. So this one, you know what? I forgot to share the last 2 links. That's my bad. That's really my bad. LMTX on Kick. Can't even get on. You know what, buddy? It took me 30-40 minutes to get on. Oh, and you're welcome, Squirrel and Bub. It took me 20-30 minutes to get on, and then once I got on, I saw that I lost a handful of ships and vehicles, and I couldn't access my inventory, so I just I just quit the game. Not because I'm sorry, man. I got like a tickle in my throat. Not because I'm mad or upset that I lost like vehicles or anything like that. The game wasn't working right. Like I said, I couldn't get in my inventory, and it honestly was playing like a slideshow. So I just left. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with it. I'll try it again later tonight or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I really don't want want to. Ooh, yeah, LMTX, I got Mr. E, what's up? LMTX, I kept getting the 19,000 error saying that I needed to check my credentials, and that was after I downloaded the update and I verified the files, and I would exit the program, verify the files, and I kept getting 19,000 errors until like I said, it took like 30-40 minutes, and then I eventually got it. I don't know what's going on with Star Citizen and CIG right now. It's I'm so sorry, guys. It's almost like a repeat of 318. It's not as bad, but it's almost as bad as 318. And I hope it doesn't continue down this path, because another 318 debacle for them this close to an IAE or this close to CitizenCon is not going to be a good look. I mean, look, they sold out all their VIP tickets. Last I looked, which was about 3 weeks ago, they still had not finished selling out their regular tickets. So the cameras are going to have to be doing a lot of work overtime to keep that crowd, to keep behind the crowd and to the sides of the crowd, so they don't reveal a big wide open spot behind them where all the regular tickets haven't sold out. So I hope they can get this fixed. I really hope they can get it fixed. Just get it fixed, guys. Work on it. Get it fixed. Yeah, that's what I did. I logged out of everything. I even ended task too, SpaceBub. Like I ended the task, I ended the process tree, I ended everything, and then I would go back in and it still kept telling me 1900 or the 19,000 error. I eventually did get in, but I ended the task, I ended the processes, I did all that stuff, and I just kept trying and trying and trying and trying, and I eventually got in. But once I got in, I was not impressed with what I was met with. You know, disappearing ships aside, the fact that I couldn't get in my inventory, that even though I was in there for like 10-20 minutes, the frames never calmed back down. It was just super slow, like just stuttering like this through I forget where I set my home. I think it was either Area 18 or Lorville. I don't remember which one. But I was doing the stutter across the screen. It was really bad. It was really bad. Yeah, like I said, I spent my 10 minutes in there. I'll try again later. We'll see what happens. But hopefully you guys can all get in. Really, I hope for all you Star Citizen enjoyers out there, I really hope you can get in and you can enjoy the game. You know, I watched Jack Axon get in and struggle with being able to buy cargo, but couldn't sell cargo, couldn't load his whole C, you know, all that stuff. And, you know, I know he has a different gameplay style than a lot of other people that play Star Citizen. You know, some of us that are in chat like to do mining, some of us like to do cargo hauling, some of us like to pirate, some of us just like to do shenanigans, some of us like to PvP, some of us just like to salt mine. You know, I know we all have a real wide variety of what people like to do, but you know, I hope this doesn't continue. I don't remember any of the 317 patches being this bad. Now I got into 316 point whatever, whatever the last one was before 317 launched. I was in there for about 2 weeks. Then I was there from 317 all the way on till to today. I'm not saying I've been here for the longest, but I don't remember the 317s being that bad. 318 was really bad. I agree, Jay. I agree. It was really, really, really bad. Hopefully it doesn't turn into that, because that would suck. That would really suck. So here we're gonna get into Camerl. And this is his, I don't know what was going on. Maybe there might be, LMTX, I couldn't get on for 8 weeks. 8 weeks of 318. I missed all of 318 for the most part. Yeah, they're definitely going to. Indra, definitely. I'm so if anybody, there might be some context to this. I hope Commerl shows what's going on, but apparently Jared was talking to some people in a very negative way, I guess, is what I'm getting from the thumbnail. I hope there's context put into this, and hopefully it wasn't taken out of context, but I'd like to see what was going on. Apparently this was all the drama over the weekend with Inside Star Citizen Live, or Inside Star Citizen Live. I don't know. Let's see what happens. So this is Commerl, and Jared, please don't treat backers like children. So let's go.
Hello everyone. 8 days ago, there was the Star Citizen Live game dev, Arena Commander 3.20, September 8, 2023. People in
So this is
chat
2
were
weeks ago?
making fun about 4.0 and they were typing, where is 4.0? And Jared behaved like a CIG employee should never behave, especially not like a CIG employee who is very often the face and voice of Star Citizen. So let's see what happened.
Okay, so I guess I'm picking up what he's putting down. They were doing they were doing a Star Citizen Live. People were, like they usually do. I stopped watching them live on Twitter because people start brigading, blah, 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 brigading on CIG through Twitch. You know, you'll get 30, 40 people spamming the same, you know, question or concern over and over and over again, and it gets annoying to watch in Twitch. So I kind of stopped watching them live. If I watch them, I'll watch them once they are offline and I don't have to look at the chat anymore. That's just how I tend to do it. And plus I watch it in blocks. If it's something that I'm interested in, I'm not going to sit for a whole hour and a half session of some of the stuff they've been doing lately. It's too much.
People in the chat are like, so that means no 4.0 or whatever, 4.0 next level. Like I haven't been doing this for a decade. I'm not gonna jump on that. All things, hold on, no, I'll do the camera. Hi everybody, it's me again. Things will be when they'll be. We don't do when questions anymore. It's things will be when they're be, when we think they're ready, and when we think they're proper, and yeah.
So kind of like 318 when you thought that was ready and push that out on us, and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people were locked out of their accounts for 2 months, 3 months. There's still people that are locked out of their accounts. That kind of ready, or you're going to put it out like the Hull C kind of ready? Because let's face it, the Hull C has really no value to the Star Citizen universe right now. What are you gonna you do from station to station trading, and you're trading what mostly? Waste, recycled material. Like what are you doing with that? There's almost no worth to having the Hull C in the game right now. It's a long distance trader with no distance to travel, and not to mention that the loading and offloading system you specifically said is a placeholder for that's specifically for something else down the line. So once again, you put in a ship without all of the functions like you guys said you weren't going to do 3 years ago, but you still continue to do this. It boggles my mind. And then as far as the when questions, I'm sorry, but everybody here that's watching in chat, everybody that's Chaos, what's up, man? How you doing, Captain Dirty? He does seem depressed, and I would be depressed after 10 years of doing this as well, having to answer some of the questions that are being asked and having to deal with some of the, how do we put this, some of the fuck-ups that CIG has to then use Jared to band-aid over, smooth over, and apologize to. So I can kind of understand that. But as I was saying, you know, when do we get to ask a one question? All of us here in chat, all of us here that have backed the game, we all spent real money. There has to come a time where you have to put up or shut up. Pyro has been going on, is 3 years now. If we have another CitizenCon with a road to Pyro or a pathway to Pyro or the pilgrimage to Pyro, or the we're setting sail to Pyro, any one of those kind of things, if we have to hear that again, people are going to freaking freak out, because this will be the 4th year in a row. We can't keep doing this. We can't keep doing it. I've only been here for a year, and it's just going back and watching what some of the original backers and I say older, but I don't mean like they're old. I just mean that they backed longer ago than me. But some of the older backers and the stuff that they've put up with, it's time for you guys to start giving them something. I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for everybody. Right, Chaos?
Thanks for watching.
Well, let's unpack this. First, there were never when questions, so please don't tell us we don't do when questions anymore when there never were any. Second, I'm doing this for a decade. Yes, Jared, you are the voice and face of Star Citizen in the weekly shows.
Yes, he is.
And you are telling us lies for a decade.
I wouldn't say lies. Now, I will defend CIG on this point. I don't think they've ever, well, I can't say ever, but I don't think that everything that is said that doesn't happen is a lie. I do understand that things go wrong in game development, you know, just like in any other field and any other business, things go wrong, and you can't always account for that, because, you know, you could be, you know, let's say 6 weeks into a project for whatever thing for Star Citizen, and it goes wrong. And you have to start over again, or you have to find a way to fix it. What I would like to see, you know, everybody about 3 months ago, LMTX, they don't care as long as they make money. Yeah, kinda, yeah. Yeah, you're right. About 3 months ago, maybe 2 months ago, everybody was doing this. Oh, CIG came out and said the Santoki Eye is not ready because it failed its whatever gray box final pass test or whatever it was called. And everybody was applauding them at saying, oh, you're very transparent. You told us that you failed, et cetera, et cetera. Tell us more when you fail. Tell us, hey, we were working on this thing and X things did not work out, and we're sorry, but we're going to have to either put that aside or we're going to have to figure out a different way to work on this. The problem that I see right now is that is a double-edged sword, because every time the Bano Merchantman starts getting worked on and then said, oh, we're not working on it anymore, everybody goes to Spectrum and starts shit posting all over that about how, well, the usual stuff. So I get how it's a double-edged sword, but at the same time, we're giving you money. We've all given you money to play a game, and we keep being told it's only an alpha. We still have a long ways to go, but when? You know, I want to see this. I want to see this actually happen. Like, it has to happen. You guys have got to make some forward progress. You can't stay in Stanton for another 10 years. But they gave us the Fury Alex. Oh my God. I went over it last week, but that ISC was basically a 12-minute commercial for Buy the Fury LX. I was really pissed off about that. I'm still subbed to CIG, but I question it every time it hits my bank account. I haven't logged into PTU since January. Yeah, I haven't logged into PTU since since 318 went live, and I got my account got locked and I couldn't log in for, it was eight weeks, something like that. 6 to 8 weeks I was locked out. I have not played in a PTU since. And well, no, I take that back. I played in the 319 PTU, but when they announced those wave changes, I said never again am I subbing to play a PTU. I'm just not doing it. And even when it does go to wave 5, I'm not gonna jump in there. I just don't. I don't look, you can all, I'm never going to try to tell people don't spend money, don't play the game, don't do any of that. I will never tell anybody don't play the game, don't spend your money. It's your money, you spend it how you see fit. It's your time, spend it how you see fit. If that's playing Star Citizen, go, play Star Citizen. If you feel like, hey, I don't want to play Star Citizen right now, I want to go play, I don't know, Escape from Tarkov, or you know, I'm gonna fire up one of my old games and play like Doom, or you know, whatever. Go do that. I will never, ever, ever, ever tell anybody don't play a game or don't spend money, because that's your time, your money. You do with it as you wish. But for me, I'll play Star Citizen once or twice a week, maybe 3 times a week at tops. But there are other games out there that I enjoy, and I really feel like spending the year that I spent, the year and 3 months that I spent playing Star Citizen every single day, 5 to 6 days a week for 3 to 6 hours a day, I feel like I missed out on other games I could have been playing. And there are other good games out there. Is it you know, as flight simmy and space simmy as Star Citizen? No, it's not. But there are other really good games out there, and you know, take the time to check them out. Take the time to check them out. You know, I don't want to say that Star Citizen lies every time, but it's borderline getting to that point where it's, you know, it's literally almost a lie. But I teeter on that knife edge about it being a lie and it not being a lie, because sometimes I think they outright lie, and other times they outright failed at something and are trying to do their best to sugarcoat it and be like, hey, you know, we screwed this up. But it's really hard. It's really hard to keep that on that edge. Checking out, Mortal Kombat 1. Yeah, I haven't played Mortal Kombat in forever. I haven't played forever. I've never killed anyone in Escape from Tarkov is brutal, man. Escape from Tarkov is brutal. Takes a lot of practice. I would actually recommend you download the single player mod and get practice on there. That you'll learn the maps more and not have to worry about players jumping you all the time. The bots are pretty good though, so you do have to be careful from that. They lie, that's a fact. BG3, Baldur's Gate 3, I've been hearing great
Jared,
things.
you don't have to behave like a jackass on stream.
The first couple of years is building
Jared
all of these
does not need
tools
to-
that allow us to do.
Jared has to, sorry for pausing immediately. Jared does have to keep a level of professionalism, and he sometimes crosses that line where he treats backers that ask questions like that badly, and I don't think that should be allowed. I think you should keep a certain level of professionalism. There's a different way to answer that question, or to respond to that question.
Do things much quicker. You take all this time and all this energy and all these years to create the tools that will then allow you to make the content much easier, much quicker, much. It can be just as important to continue iterating
I have
on
a
the tools
conspiracy
you've already
theory after
created
this I want to share with you
make them both
guys.
as efficient and capable as they can be. And it's one more way we're developing not only features for our players, but tools for our developers to make the making of Star Citizen as efficient and capable as can be. The new tool doesn't just get us a better looking brush of terrain, it's also faster and more efficient to use than ever before, including the upcoming planets of the Pyro system. So the upcoming Pyro system and the upcoming Pyro system. And for the upcoming Pyro system. The upcoming Pyro system. The upcoming Pyro system. Upcoming Pyro Star system. For the upcoming inclusion of the Pyro system. And even the upcoming Pyro system.
Third, according to Chris' 2016 SysMcon talk, we were supposed to get 4.0 with several new star systems at the beginning of 2018.
Wow.
There we go. And then finally, 4.0. So this is
So wait a second. We were supposed to get 4.0 at the beginning of 2018. So Pyro is technically 5 years late. So this is going to be going on 6 years now. Holy shit!
that'll be the first time we'll go beyond Stanton to other star systems. I'm not going to say how many star systems yet.
6 years later, we still only have one star system. Even if we get Pyro in December, which I don't
saw that,
believe
Jay.
anymore, it would
Was
be
that
just
you?
one more star
Is that
system,
you on the Twitch?
not multiples.
LMTX, all the money right now, look, all the money that has been made over, I'd say, the last 2 years is going directly to fund Squadron 42. Now, people are going to tell me, it's not going there to fund it. They're building the game, and it's still one and the same. Okay, look, most of their devs at one point, one of the devs has said 80 to 90% of their workforce is working on Squadron 42. So let me get that straight. You make $100 million last year, and you got to pay for all the devs. You got to pay for all their offices. You buy another company, and you're putting them straight to work on Squadron 42. To me, that sounds like a majority of that $100 million went to Squadron 42 because you have to develop all of that. That money's going to Squadron 42. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. Oh, the gate campers are going to be crazy.
Jared, this is not how you treat people who gave your company more than $600 million, treating your backers like little children.
Oh, hearsay.
I hope you found this interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Okay,
All right,
so much
so-
for physics. Look, this mighty tree, this big mighty tree, is carrying the weight of a starfarer. This is a 1G planet. This tree can hold 4.2 million kilograms. Wow. Actually, just the leaves.
We need this tree.
That's so funny.
Wow. All right, so that was Camaro. Let me share that with you guys. Let me share that. Hopefully, I did refresh my cache, so hopefully this works. Ah, damn kick chat.
Welcome to the party, pal.
J Grizz 2600 on SC. Nothing I paid for can be used in Squadron 42, but they spent that money on Squadron 42. Welcome, J Grizz. Yeah, that's about the gist of what I've been picking up from them over the last 2 years, and I've only been here for about 1.5 years, and that's just hearing from developers talking on ISC, ISL, and then when I get the chance to drop into a Salty Mike chat, you know, he has 3 to 5 developers come in there on the regular, and they've even said various things like that about there being, you know, more developers being used on Squadron 42. And I agree with your sentiment. I bought ships for the persistent universe, not for Squadron 42. So I mean, it is what it is. And I don't think we should be told we don't get to ask one questions. I think we should be able to ask one questions and have some sort of an answer for it. Even if they fail, they should come out and say, "Hey, this didn't work. We have to, you know, go back and revamp some things." Thank you for the 12 follows on the 12 follows, the 12 likes on YouTube. I appreciate that. I bet, Jay. I mean, there's a few, like I know a few guys. There's a gentleman named Pagan that comes in here, and Pagan and some of his group, they've gone through and invested. They sat down together as a group and invested on ships that they could use for their org, and that was, I think, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. None of those ships are available yet. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. I mean, some of them have bought Idaruses, some of them have bought, you know, Endeavors, some of them have bought, there's a refining ship I think they bought into. They've bought a lot of really cool ships, and none of them are out yet. And that's really disappointing. That's really disappointing. And I do believe, and I don't want to misspeak here, but I do believe one of the guys that was heavily invested in their org, he passed away, and they had to sell off chunks of his account. So, you know, it's terrible. It's terrible. We should not have to go through this. We should not have to go through this. I don't think we should be shunned when we ask one questions. So, and that's just me. That's just me. Let's do trust fund citizen, exactly. let's do a Star Wars theory video. We'll do some Star Wars. You know, I made a video a few weeks ago, or I did a live stream react to Gem Reviews and his awful takes on Star Wars, and I thought I think I'm going to try to bring in more Star Wars when appropriate to the channel. I really enjoy Star Wars. I'm sure a lot of you guys enjoy Star Wars, Star Trek, all things sci-fi, not just the major two. But we'll do this video and then we'll get back to some Star Citizen stuff. But this is Star Wars theory. This is not okay.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Oh, I agree, Indrid. I agree.
One thing you might have noticed from the latest episode of Ahsoka where Anakin shows up in the World Between Worlds and we get the Clone Wars flashback, which was awesome to see. I would love to see a Clone
spoilers,
Wars
I guess.
in live action
Sorry.
with Hayden Christensen. Forgot the actor who plays the young Ahsoka, but essentially like a Last of Us sort of situation.
That would be awesome.
Scenario. I think
it would be awesome.
Pretty amazing to see.
I really love
the
Star Wars
the
theory.
Clone Wars there I thought was absolutely fantastic, but anyways.
We don't
So,
always agree
one
eye to
thing you might
eye on
notice is that
everything, but
Ahsoka
he's
seems really
I like it.
disillusioned with the Jedi. This is something that happened with Dooku, something happened with Qui-Gon and Anakin, and of course other Jedi before them. Now, the thing that I want to highlight here is really kind of how horrible the Jedi Order was with their whole idea of taking babies away from their families just because they're force sensitive. Yeah, they basically took children from their parents.
There's a word for that. It's called kidnapped.
And turned them into child soldiers. And you can see the look on Ahsoka's face because that's not really what she signed up for. When you want to become a Jedi, you essentially have this idea that you're going to be some sort of a keeper of the peace, and you're going to be learning some really cool force powers and abilities and developing them and becoming a stronger person in the process. You know, be able to control yourself, your emotions, and your temptations and things like that, and help people. But in turn, Ahsoka
It
was
is a cult.
killing people or killing droids that were being run by corrupt people and whatnot. She felt really distanced from the Jedi for a long time. At least with Anakin, you know, until the Clone Wars rolled around.
I still think that the Jedi are, while their intentions may be good, it's pretty evil what they do. I mean, like I said, they take children, they train them to be, you know, in the Clone Wars era, they train them to be soldiers. They're still children. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, in the Clone Wars time frame, Anakin was somewhere between the ages of 18 and 19 years old, and Ahsoka was Backspace. What's up? Yeah, I know Backspace. And if I'm not mistaken, Ahsoka was somewhere between 12 and 14 years old. So, and you're throwing them straight into war. It's pretty messed up, man. Yes, it's all perspective. I agree, Skeet.
It was just little missions here and there, and it wasn't really anything too serious, but it was much more of keeping the peace. And it was long discussions with Palpatine, and that's, you know, how Anakin grew his relationship with the Chancellor. Once the Clone Wars came, it was just full-on war, and it was a completely different story. And so Ahsoka is seeing this, and she's like, I didn't sign up for this. And for Anakin, it had been probably about 10 years of, you know, pre-Clone Wars era for him to actually just be a kid and be a Jedi and be a keeper of the peace. And I think that's like a story that a lot of us really want to see is, you know, young Anakin from the Phantom Menace going into Attack of the Clones. And how does he change? Because that's a really big moment in all of our lives as young boys where a lot happens, you know, from 9 until 19 or 18. We really do change. That would be cool to see anyways. But hey, look, I think that Ahsoka
I think we
has
got too
every
many
right
spin-offs.
to feel distance from the Jedi with how they treated her and the fact that she was essentially just becoming a child soldier and she just wasn't down for
Backspace.
that anymore. You know,
And you're right.
For this crap, she wanted to learn other aspects of being a Jedi, not just killing and fighting. Even just by processing that little line and that little bit, you can kind of see where Ahsoka was at the whole way through. So I thought that was pretty profound. I thought it was pretty interesting. And maybe something that like a lot of people might have missed if, you know, they're just watching it the first time. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think the Jedi were kind of evil because They would take
Yeah.
kids away from their parents, babies away from their parents, and essentially turn them into these soldiers. Or do you
Turn
think
them into
that's just
child
a
soldiers.
obligation that they had to do once the Separatists took over and Count Dooku fell to the dark side and, really...
I don't think Dooku really fell to the dark side. I think he was just pissed at the way the Jedi Order had gone. He's from the outer, I mean, yes, he's royalty and his family has money and power in the Outer Rims, but he's from the Outer Rims, and there's a lot more, and I'm not going to get into it, but there's a lot more political and economical things going on in the Outer Rim than what is told in the movies and some of the TV show, because the TV show does a pretty good job of getting, I don't mean the Ahsoka show, I mean the Clone Wars TV show does a bit better of a job of doing the economical and political stuff that was going on out there. I just wish that they would show, I don't know, like, I don't think Dooku was that bad. I think he was disillusioned, and I think he actually wanted to help people. Jedi were trained to be peacekeepers. Even Qui-Gon made that point. But once the Clone Wars started up, even Yoda was all about the Jedi lead. Yep. Peaceful forces still have to fight. I agree, but throwing 14-year-olds, 19, well, I mean, I suppose the U.S. and most modern militaries throw 18, 19-year-olds straight into battle, but 14, I don't know, man. 14, that's pretty young.
Upstarted the whole thing, the whole operation that Palpatine had planned. Is that something that you think kind of had to happen, or do you think the Jedi just really are scummy people and they're just...
I think it's a bit of both.
Brainwashing these kids to do their bidding.
It's a gray area.
Personally, I think, of course, it should... Well, it's like if they wait for the kid to kind of make their own decision, the kid then has attachments. But that's the thing.
Oh, hey, thank you, LMTX, for the follow.
Man. Like,
my alert
really
didn't go off.
Legends Luke, because he was all about, like, okay, look, I don't think we should be running away from attachments and emotions. I don't think that's what makes a Jedi. That's like saying, oh, I'm really good at not doing this thing when it's not around, or doing whatever, or controlling myself when my temptation is not there. It's like, well, yeah, that's a perfect world, but at the end of the day, you want to be able to have that temptation everywhere and still be like, nah, not doing it. That, I think, was Luke's modus operandi. That was his sort of thought process when it came to, once he was in Legends. That no, we can have emotions, we can have attachments, we can do all these things, but it is...
Thanks, LMTX. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Be able to refrain
Chase.
from things. So I think, that's definitely something that they could implement into there. However, it was far too late because...
I heard that there was a lot of child soldiers in Afghanistan. I know Africa has a lot of child soldiers. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of foreign countries, mostly, well, probably third and second world countries that use a lot of child soldiers. And, it's not cool. It's not cool. Kids should be kids, and I understand that some of those areas are very war torn. And kids really can't be kids because of the conditions that they're living in. I mean, here in the United States, we have a lot. I'm not going to try to go on this whole political holier than thou on my soapbox type thing, but and this is a generalization, not directed at anybody in chat or anybody watching. On a whole, war is very much glorified here in the U.S. Through movies, media, music, the whole thing. And what actually happens in the theater of war is totally different than what Hollywood depicts it as. And we don't really understand the entire scope of things. We only get to hear what is spoon-fed to us. Oh, I get that, Chase. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying they have to fight. I'm just saying, being around war in general as a kid it's not good. It's not good. I wish there was no war, but hey, you know what? That's just not the reality of things, unfortunately.
Because at that point, Yoda was so clouded with the dark side and by the dark side that he was just not really able to see anything anymore. And they didn't really help Anakin at all in any way.
$750 bill a year. Yeah.
To realize that this is a dude with a special case, so they didn't. And the same happened with Ahsoka. Like, they just really did not give her the time of day when they wronged her. And they were just like,
man, when they accused her of being a traitor, and then they, they were so quick to throw her to Tarkin and the wolves, and then when they found out, just the apology and everything that happened afterwards just seemed so half-assed. I mean, yes, I know it's a kid's cartoon, but even for a kid's cartoon, it was obviously half-assed.
Okay, yeah, you can come back. It's like, dude, no, screw you. So I can definitely see why Ahsoka felt distance from the Jedi and why she continues in her path today. No, and also I can see why Anakin did. And Qui-Gon and Count Dooku. Let me know what you guys think about it. Are the Jedi evil? Are they ruthless and cold?
Evil.
They're
just
being monks. Are they just being Jedi? You know, monks
they're,
of a
they're kind of cold.
I'm just trying to better the galaxy one new Jedi at a time. But you know, how would they know the Separatists were going to rise and that Palpatine was going to control both sides of the war? So it's an interesting thought process for sure. I want to know what you guys think. Until the next one, remember the Force will be with you always.
Thanks, Mr.
What's up, everybody?
No. Go away. We're not doing that yet. Thanks. Thank you, Star Wars Theory. I like his stuff. You know, not that he needs help or anything, but you know, Star Wars Theory is a good dude. He's a good dude. I like him. I like his content. You know what? I don't know, Indrid. I don't know. I think that's a good takeaway, Backspace. I think having an open mind to other ideas is very key to any type of thought process that you have, you know. I really do. Well, that was some Star Wars stuff. That was Star Wars Theory and you know, Child Warriors and all of that. Pops, what's up, man? We're gonna get into the next Star Citizen thing. Let me get this queued up and ready to roll. I watched like
I have been tagged.
Hey, Montoya, just relax, man. Just relax, Montoya. We'll get to you. 7 of 9 now. Okay. I've heard different things through the grapevine. I don't know the full story behind it. Maybe Montoya here will give me the full story. But apparently Morphologist, he's a traitor. Apparently Morphologist is a traitor. That's what I'm hearing. So let's see what Montoya has to say, and yeah, maybe we'll get some good information off of this.
I have been tagged in this so much this past weekend. You know I'm going to talk about it. Morphologist, prolific content creator for Star Citizen, announcing that he was actually doing work for Star Atlas, the crypto project, for the past year.
Wow, for the past
Ladies
year.
and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am Montoya.
So I'm assuming he was part of the 244 people that got fired or something like that, because I heard that happened not too long ago. Like they let go like 240 employees, 250 employees, because NFT sales are in the tank. It's funny. I'll post on I'll make a comment on another YouTube channel or whatever that, hey, I'm not going to buy into a video game that uses NFTs and cryptos. You know, it's unstable and I don't think it's a very good investment. And I will get all these crypto bros coming at me telling me about how they've made more money than ever before in crypto and how it's totally stable and things are going great over there. And then I hear news like this and it's like, it's going so great, but things like this are happening? I don't know. I don't buy it. I'm not totally sold on it. Also, thanks for the 18 likes, guys, and guys over on Kick. Thank you for checking this out.
I run Star Citizen's largest player guild named Test Squadron. This came as a large surprise, a very, very big surprise to me, hearing Morphologist saying he was involved with this project. Now, those of you who've been following my channel for a while know my feelings about Star Atlas. If you're new, let me repeat. Now, first of all, if you are a Star Atlas fan, this is not a personal attack on you.
Yes, it is.
I have no problem.
I'm kidding.
With crypto or NFTs. I've talked about them a lot in my past. Solana as a chain, I like it. I have an issue with what Star Atlas promised, with what Star Atlas is trying to do.
He has a problem with what Star Atlas promised versus what Star Atlas is trying to do. Sounds like another game.
Because I've backed Star Citizen and because I've sat through 10 years of watching Star Citizen, watching
So
CIG
he's gonna
attempt to create a game, I know how difficult, what long of a process, and how expensive this can be. What Star Atlas is trying to do, I don't want to say it's impossible,
the
but I
A2
will
incident was
say
hilarious,
it'll be extremely challenging for them to achieve the goals or for them to achieve the vision that a lot of the Star Atlas backers have or what they envision this game will be. I don't want to say it's not going to happen, but I will say that buckle up.
Man,
because it's
this
going to
helmet
be
looks cool.
5, 7, 10 years before Star Atlas fans get to what Star Atlas has told them this can.
Well, if you're firing, they only have 40-something employees left, last I saw the news. If they only have 40-some employees, this is going to take them a lot longer than 10 years to achieve, because they want to be the same size as Star Citizen, hundreds of systems, hundreds of ships, thousands of ships, thousands of players, all of that stuff is going to take you a lot longer to do that with 40 employees than 10 years.
That is my criticism. Now, if you don't know what the story
those
is,
helmets
this is
look
Star
awesome.
Atlas basically. It's visually beautiful, done in Unreal 5. They've done a wonderful job with it. And the way they fund the project is they sell you these ships. So this is like a little motorcycle there. And what is this, like 20 bucks?
I got what you were saying,
originally. You buy it as an NFT. And
to be honest, the morphologist tantrum is how I found a couple of specific YouTubers that I now follow. Speaking of which, shout out Marcus. He's one. That's how I found Marcus, and Marcus is really good people. Outside of a couple of other people, without Marcus, I wouldn't have gotten to some of the technical help that I got from. I wouldn't have gotten the technical help to get to where I am now with YouTube. Not that I'm like super big or anything like that, but it's far bigger than I ever thought I would get. I ditched Morph after the A2 as well, mostly because of his response to it. That was pretty crazy. I hope I never have a bad day and have a meltdown like that, because damn. Oops. Hold on. I'm in the wrong window. There we go.
You get to use it in the game. And because it is crypto, you can buy and sell it on an open market. Gamers in general are very much against RMT in their gaming. Yes, I see you guys playing Second Life, shaking your head saying no. But for the most part,
I don't know what Second Life is outside of what I've seen bits and pieces of, and it looks stupid, and I don't think I would ever want to play that sort of game. But look, having the ability to buy and sell your stuff is kind of cool. Like, it's kind of cool. But look, whenever real money and microtransactions make their way into games, I have a severe problem with it, because it becomes less and less about the gameplay and the skill of the players and more about either pay to win or try to shove as much cosmetic crap down my throat as possible. And I really don't like that mentality that these companies have. I think it hurts the gaming industry and doesn't help it.
Gamers don't want RMT in their games. Reason being is that RMT destroys game economies. You've all seen the gold miners in whatever game you're playing, which may have the mechanic in it where people come in and just
I don't know much
maximize the
enough
output
about
efficiency so they
crypto.
can sell.
I just know that it's been, in the last 2 years, it's been really up and down, and that's kind of what's keeping me away from really involving myself in crypto. I don't know enough about it. I'm not sure if I do want to know more about it. I don't know. Like the whole thing just seems really odd to me, that something can be worth that much money from nothing. It just doesn't make sense to me. But once again, I'm not asking for an explanation in chat or in the comment section. It just seems to me to be an odd thing. I know the dollar isn't backed this way, but the dollar used to be backed by gold. It hasn't been since Nixon, and I get that, and I'm not trying to make this political. I get that it's now mostly the petrodollar now, and basically the way petrol's controlled is he who has the most or the biggest guns controls the value of the petrodollar. I get that. I do get that.
the resources they harvest for real money. It destroys gaming economies. To create a stable and functional in-game economy to the scope of which Star Atlas is trying to do.
I mean,
that alone is going to be difficult.
Look amazing.
But on top of that, they have the added pressure.
I'm just wondering if these are
native
pre-rendered.
token Atlas being freely tradable, potential game-breaking bugs which may result in exploits. Who knows? There are a ton of things going against Star Atlas, and I hope they can pull it off. But I'm just very, very skeptical. And you have to take it from me. I mean, right here from their own CEO. They had massive layoffs. Nothing about our vision has changed, which is fine. Their vision for what they want the game to be can remain the same. That is perfectly fine. But it will be incredibly difficult to achieve what they want to do when you come down from 235 employees to a mere 45 employees now. Well, I guess it's 44.
Yeah, I knew that this had happened. I was off on the numbers, but 122 people got laid off. They're down to 45 people. They got a long road ahead of them if they want to get to the same size and scope that Star Citizen has promised, and they're promising those same things. They got a long way to go, and they are going to need way more money. And when things like this happen, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get way more money. And I do know that, and I don't know where it ended. I don't know if they got their money back. I don't know any of that, but I do know that I think it was last year when the big crypto thing happened, they had 90% of all their savings in that one bank that basically shut down, boarded up, and whoop, was out of there. So, you know, I don't know much about crypto. I'm not going to pretend like I do, but it just seems like this is super, 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 super volatile right now. And being this game developer and basing it off of crypto, it seems like the they're getting the short end of the stick right now. That's what it seems to me. That's what it seems to me. Vision may not have changed, but the ability to execute it certainly will change with the good.
Is no longer helping them. Is that what it is? So that is my thought on Star Atlas. Again, not a personal attack on you guys with Star Atlas. You know what? I'm not opposed to what they're trying to do. I am skeptical that they can achieve what they are trying to do. So let's go on. Now that you know my thoughts, let's go and see what Morph had to say about this.
This is the juicy stuff.
And clarify some things about his last post regarding Star Atlas. Okay, well, let's go to his last post. Let's start over there, which is this. Morph announcing that he's excited to reveal that he's worked with Star Atlas for a year, consulting on designs for their...
I don't know when the time frame of this was, but wasn't when ERAD or ERAD Prime or Eradicator, wasn't he having a beef with the CEO of Star Atlas? And didn't Morph comment on like a video or make a video about how the CEO needs to stop stepping on little YouTubers and things like that, and kind of defending ERAD? Wasn't that within the last year? Wouldn't that have fallen with when he was working with them? But maybe I'm reading this wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on my time frame. But I do know that Morph came out and said that. And even if he did, if he was only a consultant and not actually employed, I could see why the CEO wouldn't fire him outright because of that. So yeah, I don't know.
Ships and locations. That is a smart move by Star Atlas. Let me explain why. If you've followed Star Citizen, and look, the Star Citizen ship designs are awesome. Here's Morph talking about the rather phallic-shaped Halsey.
It is super phallic-shaped.
And it is beautiful. Now, if you are good at design...
And then the silver phallic-shaped object extends. Whoever designed this at CIG really... Wow, that's all I got to say.
Spaceships, that is great, but can you design the interior of a room? Can you design the interior layout of something? And you may be strong with the exterior, but you need...
Wait. What? The real gem in this vid is the news that a Fallout modder got hired to do the interiors of Starfield. Well, oh, really? who was it? It wasn't the back to school guy, was it? Because there was a Fallout modder that I watched for a long time, and he was doing like this. I can't remember his name, but he was doing like this back to school like setup. I'll have to check him out.
Need an actual professional interior designer to give you good interior design. I know it's weird, but just because you can design the outside of a spaceship doesn't mean you can do the inside. I want to actually give you a wonderful example of this right now, and that is if you're playing Starfield, if you see all the clutter in Starfield on the desks in the corners, there's things lying around, there's pens, there's pencils. You know,
I love the Starfield aesthetics of the interiors of buildings. Now, granted, you know, some people will argue that some of the outposts are kind of identical to each other, which they kind of are, but the interiors, for the most part, are not. I'm going to have to check that out. I really am. I'm going to have to check that out. But I really like how in Starfield versus Star Citizen, you know, unless you're talking about Grim Hex and whatnot, they don't look lived in. They're all sterile. I mean, unless the players are throwing their crap all over the place, but even then their crap is generally in the same places all the time. The Starfield interiors, they look lived in. Let me take that back. They look well lived in. I mean, even like right here, like, you know, you're constantly grabbing that cabinet. It's got the paint worn off. You got junk in the pot, you know, oven mitts just kind of laying there, not in any good order. They're just there. This isn't even stacked neatly. You know, you got the coffee maker right here. And, you know, I assume this is coffee stuff, maybe cereal. I don't know. But whatever. It looks lived in. It looks well lived in. And I like that. I really like that.
Who did that? You know who did
Ellie.
that? And I know you guys will, some of you will immediately go, aha. This is what a typical Bethesda room looks like. Where is it? No, there. All right. That is what a Bethesda basic room in Fallout 4 looked like. It's just the designers stick a bed in there and not you. Come on. Where is it? That's a bathroom, I guess. Now, there is this wonderful clutter artist, modder on Nexus Mods named Eleonora. And you'll know her for her beautiful mods in Skyrim, for the Breezewood home. And if I'm showing you these pictures here, some of you will recognize this and go, oh, yes, I know this modder. But pay attention to how the desk is laid out. See the globe and a pen and papers. Does that remind you of something? That's what we have in Starfield. Why? Because she was actually hired by Bethesda. That's her right here. She was hired by Bethesda to be a clutter artist for Starfield. I think this is a beautiful synergy of someone who's passionate about the game getting hired by a gaming company to produce something simply amazing. And that is thank Eleonora for the interiors of Starfield because of her work on Skyrim and Fallout 4. So Morph does a wonderful job detailing ship exteriors and interiors. And I want to say it's a good move by Star Atlas to bring him on as a consultant, I'm guessing, to help with their designs, because this is exactly what pushes the industry forward. So great work for Morph. Not only did he get a chance to follow his passion.
I mean, I think it's cool. Okay, look, I'm probably going to get flack for this. I'm not going to call him a sellout or hypocrite or anything like that. If he got a chance to do what he likes to do and he got to do it for a video game company, cool. Congrats to Morph. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you're a sellout. You know, Star Citizen through and through. You have to be Star Citizen and only Star Citizen. I won't do that. If this is kind of what he wants to do, if he's an architect and he likes doing interior design and things like that, this is a perfect opportunity if he wants to expand on his career and enter the digital realm of architecture. Cool. What a great way to start. But I won't sit here and call him a sellout until say that, you know, it's ride or die with Star Citizen or any of that. I don't know, man. Do what you want to do. The only time I'll ever call somebody a sellout or a hypocrite is if their morals are bought out. But I don't think there's anything morally wrong with working with a video game company that's in competition with Star Citizen. That's just me.
Hopefully this opens more doors for him. But the tricky part was, as proud as he is of his work, this is NFT and crypto related, and his concern was this will generate some flack. So let's take a look at how that worked out. Scrolling down to the comment section, Gabby saying, looks amazing. TV Liquid thinks it's cool. Siggy saying, well, hang on, this is all positive stuff.
Well, it's
come on, guys, where's the bad
positive
stuff? The Eradicator. Okay, so you guys remember this story. The Eradicator put out a video being very critical about Star Atlas, and the CEO, Mr. Wagner, did not like the video. He issued a YouTube strike against it, and Eradicator's video was taken down. We all came to support. I know Morph was one of the people very vocal about it too, and pulled it up. So interesting turnaround there. Nice chips, though. I'm not going to follow an NFT project like that. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to. But okay.
I mean, it's more
I'm
main
surprised,
page.
but
there's going to be more positive than negative.
Positive. It's nice. All right. The feedback is pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know if I was expecting more anger, but it seems to be everyone's very accepting and supportive that he did this. But Morph still wanted to get ahead of the curve.
Yeah, he does, Indrid. I like Erad as well.
I want to get ahead of the curve and clarify some things about my post regarding Star Atlas. Important that understood that my announcement of involvement was not an endorsement of the game or NFT. And I agree. This is a difficult situation where he's contracted to do a job, but at the same time, he can't say, please go support this project. It is wonderful. If he could, and if he believes
I think that's a pretty good stance.
Good, I think he will. But like what I said in the very beginning of this video, they will have their challenges. I'm not calling it a scam. I'm not calling it a failure. I'm saying it will be extremely challenging for them to deliver. Now, they can do it
Torsten,
if they
do
get investment dollars, if they do get funded, or if by some miracle the NFT market suddenly booms back and they can still sell spaceship NFTs for $1,000. Yeah, it can work, but it will take time. Unfortunately, as I said, and I'll repeat this again,
they're kind of been backed into a corner, man, between the ups and downs of NFTs and them having to lay off a lot of people. They're really, really backed into a corner. And I hope things turn around for them. I mean, I think the more competition for Star Citizen is a good thing. That's me.
Because I cannot be any more clear about it. I am highly skeptical about Star Atlas's ability to deliver what they promised in any reasonable time frame, and that is why Morphologist is just being very careful about how he's wording things, saying I'm not endorsing it, but basically
which I think is a good thing.
Saying I help do stuff with it.
You can work there without endorsing it. I mean, that's
a conflict
fine.
of interest, because if you don't
that's the same as
believe a
working
project,
at Coke
how
but
will you get
enjoying
involved?
Pepsi.
But I mean
it's not really any different.
He's given an opportunity to get his foot
working
in
at
the door.
Pizza Hut but liking
He's
Domino's.
meeting with and sitting in meetings with people who might offer him opportunities in the future and will.
Exactly.
So if Morph does get in on game development, this benefits all of us, Spaceship fans, because his designs and the way he sees things helps improve the interiors and make them livable and lovable for all of us. So this, for Morph, was the right move. He was concerned about the flack, about the pushback on this, but from what I'm seeing, there really wasn't. He went on to say
well,
this,
Torsten. Are you doing good? I hope you're doing well.
Because he sees as a conflict of interest and is too close to insider trading. That is not the... If you do own, Morph, if you do own a Star Atlas ship, then you just disclose, I own this ship. As simple as that. It's not insider trading unless you're purposely trying to pump up the price so you can sell. But I don't see him doing that. But he says he doesn't have any NFTs or crypto and never has, which leads me to believe he was paid cash for his contract work.
I would take cash and not NFT.
Enough.
That's
his contract was his capacity as an architect, not as the content creator. And look, I scrolled through the comment section. I got to be honest, I was expecting some people to blow up, but it seems overwhelmingly positive. And I don't see, well, besides Heavy Bob, but overwhelmingly positive, and people seem very supportive of it. So you don't have to be a fan of
Heavy
crypto.
Bob is just
you don't have to
trolling.
be a
I don't think
supporter
he's...
of Star Atlas, but what Morph has done is basically get his foot in the door to get involved in future projects, and maybe one day we see him being more involved in actual Star citizenship designs, which, as I said, benefits us all. So that basically wraps it up. Let me know your thoughts on this issue. Do you see Morph differently now? Because when he says things like this,
the interior falls a bit short of the quality that I've come to expect from CIG.
do you see that some people may see this like, hey, he's saying CIG isn't hiring me, so I'm not going to say nice things? Or he's kind of nudging for them, hey, why don't you consult with me? I see it as a win for both Morph and CIG if they do consult with him on that. So I have no problem with that. But let me know your thoughts on the issue. Let me know if you have any problems with what Morph has done here at all. And with that, to wrap it up. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I'll catch.
That was Montoya, everybody. We're going to leave him a like on that. I thought that was a well-done video. You know, he didn't throw anybody under the bus. He didn't say any mean things. There was no need to say anything mean there. I mean, he worked... there's the link. Morphologist worked for Star Atlas. So what? He helped do some interior designs. So what? If he's got an expertise in architecture or interior design, whatever he's got expertise in, if he doesn't think that a ship from CIG meets the expectations that or meets the quality that CIG has put out in the past, he's allowed to say that. That's an opinion. You know, if he thinks he can do better, well, then maybe you should sit down and do better, Morph, and then you can get hired by CIG. And then you can tell us about the inner workings of CIG. Although I'm pretty sure he'd have to sign some NDAs and whatnot, working for both of those companies. Let's see. Let's see. What do you guys think? I got time for one more video. This one's going to be a bit shorter. I got a few things I need to take care of before bed tonight, and I got to get up early in the morning, unfortunately. You know, daddy duties. Duty. What do you guys think? Let's do 1, 2, or 3 here, because it's going to take too long to set up a poll. So 1, 2, or 3. 1 being Unity disaster may change gaming forever. 2, why Star Wars Battlefront 3 will never be released. And 3, hanging on your words, personal hangers. 1, 2, or 3, and I'll do that again. Unity disaster, number 1. Why there will never be a Star Wars Battlefront 3, that's a 2. And number 3, hanging on your words, personal hangers. Ooh, we got a tie here. We got a tie. Torsten the Nord with a 1. Indrid with a 2. Can we get a 3? Can we get a 3? Can we get another vote here? 1 for Unity disaster. 2 for why there will never be a Battlefront 3. Or 3, hanging on your words, personal hangers. Come on, chat. Let's wake up a little bit. There's 12 of you guys in here. Let's wake up a little bit. Ooh, he's conceding to 2. He's conceding to 2. Come on, chat. Wake up a little bit. You can push the buttons. I'll give you 10 more seconds. I know there's going to be a little bit of delay, but I'll give you guys 10 more seconds. And if not, we're going to go with number 2. Right? Push the buttons. Push the buttons. I'm not even asking you to use your face. All right. We'll do why there will never be a Battlefront 3.
What's up, everybody?
All right. No. I'm pushing too many buttons.
What's up?
All right. Why there will never be a Star Wars Battlefront 3. This is from the Act Man, and this was from 2 weeks ago. Torsten. Yeah, it would definitely make it more interesting, that's for sure. Why there will never be a Battlefront 3. Let's see what he's got to say. And I'm wondering if he means the classic Battlefront 3 or the more newer take of Battlefront 3. Find out next week on Dragon Ball Z.
What's up, everybody? This is the Youngling Killer Man here, and today I recently went back to play Battlefront 2, and I was having so much fun with my buddies, but then I became really confused. As I was meditating and watching those wrist rockets just like the simulations, I saw a vision of the future. It was a dark vision, so horrible
in my opinion, I think Star Wars Battlefront 2, the older one versus the newer one, the older one is far better, but that's just me.
Almost shudder to think about it. No. I saw a future completely devoid of Star Wars Battlefront 3. I recently had an epiphany. It's like, why hasn't Battlefront 3 been announced yet? I mean, it's been almost 6 years since the last one. What could possibly be taking so long? And then it hit me like a blaster bolt to the groin. Battlefront 3 is taking so long because they're not making it.
Impossible. Perhaps the archives are incomplete.
And then I had an even worse realization. Battlefront 3 will likely never be released. Because always two there are. No more, no less. At this point,
we're going back to that. We're going back to that. Hold on. Right. Nope. Right there. These right here, these ones on the left-hand side, so much better than these ones on the right-hand side. Funny story. When this game came out, look, I was such a huge fan of these two games that this game right here was the whole reason why I bought a new computer with an NVIDIA RTX 980. I think that was what they were called. GTX, RTX, I'm not sure, but it was a 980. And I thought I was top dog for having that 980. I thought, ooh, I am the man. I will say the computer did last for about 10 years, 12 years before it died a horrible, horrible death, and multiple things started breaking down within the computer. And then I got the one that I am on now. Shh, and full disclosure, my wife doesn't know it yet, but I'm secretly saving for a new one. But oh yeah, the GTX. It was the GTX. You're right. But yeah, that was all. This game right here, Battlefront, was the whole reason why I bought a whole new computer. It was pretty bad, Torsten. It was pretty bad.
Good evening,
what's up, Canop?
We are tonight's entertainment.
Towards the end of its life cycle, I was really only able to play. What was I playing on there? I was playing Diablo 2 Resurrected and Path of Exile. That was about all. That was about all it could handle at that point, and then it died. And I bought a new PC, and I really only thought I was going to be playing like a couple of first-person shooters and Diablo, and then somebody introduced me to this damn space crack called Star Citizen. But hey, 12-year-old computer, man.
At this point, I'm convinced this series is cursed to never replicate the movies.
It is
and
cursed.
Create its own complete trilogy.
I'm doing great,
today,
Canop. How are you
we're
doing?
Gonna talk about the tragedy of Star Wars Battlefront 3. But first, why is Battlefront so important? Yes, this is a dumb question, but Star Wars has seen hundreds of games release over the last 40
was the best.
years
X-Wing,
across
TIE
every
Fighter.
conceivable genre. And amongst all of these Star Wars games,
Force
I'd
Unleashed
go out
was
and say Battlefront
good.
3 is the most important and iconic. It combines virtually everything we love about Star Wars into a single game. Epic space battles, intense boots on the ground combat, large-scale warfare with vehicles, clones,
Yeah, but what's crazy though is Battlefront 2, 10 years that preceded it by 10 years or whatever it was, did it far better with mixing boots on the ground in space. You could land your troop transports inside of enemy capital ships and take them out from the inside. If I do remember, you could have far more fighters in the air above the ground locations than you can in the current Battlefront 2. But I still think, and Backspace said it the best a few minutes ago, the original Battlefront games were about a decade ahead of their time. TIE Fighter was the
Wookiees,
shit, man.
Ewoks, tons of different classes
TIE
stretching
Fighter was so
across
good.
all 3 eras of the films. All our favorite heroes and villains duking it out across several
X-Wing versus
different
TIE Fighter was
planets.
good,
Battlefront
too.
to me always felt like Star Wars' answer to other mainstream online shooters. Something that could go toe-to-toe with whatever the top shooter is. Fortnite, Halo, COD, doesn't matter. Battlefront can compete with it. And not to mention the
Sorta.
fan service these games provided and memorable one-liners.
True.
Now hear this. All hands man your battle stations.
All 4 mainline Battlefronts.
I wish I had the Chaos Squad thing. You know, battle station. Oh, or, everyone, battle stations. Oh, I'm dead. That soundbite is so good. Hey, thanks for the 20 likes, guys. I appreciate it.
Are in the top 10 list of best-selling Star Wars titles ever.
Really?
The Battlefront
The
series
Legos
has
ones were
sold
good,
well
too.
over 43 million copies. That's like a fourth of all Star Wars video game sales. And that's what's so confusing about this. EA has historically been, well, how would I put this?
Maybe he'll cover it, but do you guys think it did? Yeah, Battlefront did not. It's not a competitive shooter, and everybody wants a competitive shooter, and Battlefront is not that right now. It is not that. Do you guys think that one of the reasons why they won't put out a battle, and maybe he'll get into it, one of the reasons why they won't do a Battlefront 3 is because Disney is just not doing so well right now, and number 2, Disney has not really, outside of Legos, has not really put out any Star Wars related games. So I wonder if maybe that has something to do with it. Is it's Disney's call?
A company that might secretly be run by Mr. Krabs.
Is this good for the player?
Battlefront is just an awesome series. It's an amazing concept. And better yet,
I have
it's a
fun with
money
it.
printing machine. And they've decided to turn it off? Huh? Star Wars Battlefront 3 isn't happening? DICE won't get the chance to make it?
No fucking way! What kind of nonsense is this?
So nobody's working on a new Battlefront game. Why? Just in case you had the tiniest sliver of hope that I might be wrong about this, according to this VentureBeat article, DICE and EA are not working on Battlefront 3 and have no plans to.
That's
Ladies and gentlemen,
kinda
please
bad.
take out your lightsabers and join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. And the
I should have
craziest thing
gone and
about it,
got my
apparently
lightsabers from
EA
the corner over
rejected a
there.
sales
I got a
pitch
few of
from
them.
DICE for Battlefront 3. I guess everyone was putting all their eggs in the 2042 basket.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
He chose poorly.
Yeah,
As Tom
that
Henderson
was
says,
a
due
bad,
to licensing costs,
bad
it
game.
takes 20% more sales to make the same money, said one past developer. So EA
Wow.
was concerned about not getting 20% more sales than usual. Buddy, Buster, my guy, my dude, it's Star Wars.
Here's the thing. You want to sell a lot of things. Like, you got a video game and you want to sell a lot of stuff. Let's see if is it in the cut. Let's see.
20% more sales than usual. Buddy,
You want to make
Buster,
money? This
my
is how you
guy,
do
my
it.
dude, it's Star Wars.
You want to make a lot of money? You see those two words, you put them in front of anything, you make fuckloads of money almost immediately. Games are not Disney's plans at the moment. They're focused on buying up the market, so all the money will go to, yep, you're probably right, Cannot.
Wars. It's Battlefront. It sells on its name alone. I mean, just think about how fucking hyped people would be if Battlefront 3 got announced.
Now, here's a sci-fi thing, and I'll bring it up now, and maybe we can discuss it after the video. I love MechWarrior and BattleTech. BattleTech and MechWarrior are one and the same. I kind of wish they would do a Game of Thrones centric. I mean, honestly, BattleTech was Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones existed. I kind of wish they would do a BattleTech / MechWarrior TV show that was very much of the Game of Thrones type stuff. Enough is enough. Unity devs found out that, yes, that's true. That's true.
Remember how I talked about Baldur's Gate 3 being the culmination of Larian's work on RPGs? That's what I feel like Battlefront 3 could have been. Maybe if they
Battlefront
didn't
3, I
stop
think
working on the second game to make 2042, life would be a lot different and better. Just in case there weren't enough reasons to be salty about 2042, its godforsaken release is a huge reason why EA is distancing themselves from DICE. In turn, DICE has decided... Oh, thank you. That they'll be focusing entirely on fixing 2042. As of June 22nd last year, I don't think anything has changed. DICE's general manager says, we are only focusing on 2042.
They were very
no time for
microtransaction
anything
heavy.
else. In 3 years, we want to be the first-person shooter powerhouse that DICE deserves to be. DICE certainly deserves to be an FPS
Also a good
powerhouse,
point,
because they're
backspace.
not right now, and that's what this statement implies.
It is such a quiet thing to fall, but far more terrible is to admit it.
DICE is in a rebuild season right now, probably for a few seasons, which makes sense. She also said, I want the team to be really proud about Battlefield 2042.
What is there to be proud
That is what they are
of?
chasing, and they have their hearts and passion
I'm sorry, but that was a crap
I was gonna
game.
make a joke about abandoning a ship.
I suppose you could be proud of your work if you know you were a specific developer and you did a specific thing in that game, and you could be proud of it. But the game as a whole is a dumpster. This is a dumpster fire.
It's already been sunk, but I can
Keep
respect
on-
it. If you take a massive dump in the kitchen, you can't just wait for it to decompose. You gotta clean that up. Get some disinfectant. I can understand why fixing Battlefield 2042 is more of a priority in terms of like pride, but I don't quite understand why DICE isn't pursuing the more lucrative option.
It's true.
Probably
I
'cause of
won't,
EA.
but yes,
You know,
they will.
2042
Other
was
people
so
will.
bad in my
The masses
eyes
will.
that working on it does feel like a lost cause, because I'm probably never going to play it again. I doubt that game's launch is something they can recover from, like the launch of BF2. I'd rather them go back to updating that to be
Battlefield 4 had a spectacularly terrible launch as well, but they were able to. It took about 3-4 months, but they were able to finally turn that game around. And you know, it sucks. I'm sorry, but 2042 is never going to have that kind of a turnaround. You know, also Battlefield 4 was what, 10 years ago, so the climate was totally different.
quite honest.
The
Even if
gaming
we're impatient
climate
as
was
fuck
totally
and want a
different.
Battlefront 3 ASAP, I don't think anybody wants DICE, at least current DICE, to make one. Perhaps fixing and improving
I am. I'm a
2042
Battlefield
is
3
a
vet.
test for DICE, and if they prove themselves,
I've literally played every single Battlefield title except for Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 2042.
maybe they'll get another shot. At the very least, we have a consolation prize, because at least 2 other Star Wars games are in development.
Oh, and Battlefield 5. I did
being
not play
developed by
Battlefield 5.
Respawn and an unnamed strategy game. So those are some pretty big reasons why we're not getting Battlefront 3 anytime soon. But is it still possible?
I will say one of the best strategy games that I've played was, it's an older one. It's called Star Wars Rebellion. God, I want to say that was like a Windows XP game-ish. That was a really good one. Star Wars Empire at War, I think it was called. That was an okay one. That was an okay one. That was an okay one. It's better with mods, but Star Wars Rebellion, oof, that was a sick ass game back in the day.
To get it in the unforeseen future? I don't know, man. There's a lot of hurdles to overcome, like monetization. I'm not sure who loves live service games
he's talking
more,
about it now.
Activision or EA, but it's safe to say I bet a lot of higher-ups were pissed they had to pull loot boxes out of the game at the last minute. I mean, the entire
it
internet
was
got so pissed. It completely derailed their monetization plans, and they didn't even introduce microtransactions into Battlefront 2 until 5 months after release. That's
Right?
5 months of loot
Isn't that
box
awesome
sales
about
they missed out
Battlefield
on. No doubt this
Backspace?
left a bad taste in EA's mouth. It left a bad taste in all our mouths, man. Sometimes I still get a faint whiff of goat vomit every time I think about someone paying for star cards. Like Battlefield 2042, it seems the continued updates,
DayZ is
development, and
amazing.
content
I
for
love
Battlefront
DayZ.
2
I need to play it
was
more.
there to repair the game's image, as well as DICE's. You know, they ended up replacing loot boxes with paid cosmetics, many that were awesome, but no way in Hoth did they make more money than they would have with loot boxes. In this sense, Battlefront 3 might seem too risky to the EA higher-ups, and a game like that is gonna need funding. The stigma around this series
It would be
is
nice,
also
Canop. It
too
would be
strong
nice.
to ignore. I mean, loot boxes became associated with gambling, and several countries introduced new legislation as a result. This was basically the
loot boxes are such shit. And thank you for 21 likes today, and thank you for everybody following me over on Kick today. I appreciate that. Loot boxes are such shit. They should get rid of them. They really should. I hate loot boxes, battle passes, loot boxes, season passes. All that shit needs to go away. I'm tired of spending, you know, $60, $70, $100 on a game to be told 2 months later I need to spend another $14.99 to buy a season pass, or $24.99 for you know, battle pass or whatever it is. It's so stupid.
Straw that broke the camel's back, and now everyone has slowly but surely abandoned the loot box model.
That's actually not a bad idea, Backspace.
We defeated the loot box menace, but we paid a heavy price for that. Battlefront 3 was the cost of that victory. Any
I think
announcement from
2042
Battlefront 3
was the
would
cost
bring
of
up
that.
that same discussion again, you know? How the hell would they monetize this game without pissing people off? Well, paid premium cosmetics are always a barrel to dip into. So the bottom line, DICE and EA aren't working on Battlefront 3 because it's too much of a clusterfuck. And although these reasons make sense, it doesn't make it any less disappointing. But Actman, I have an ace up my sleeve, a trump card. What if another studio were to make it? I hate to disappoint you, but that idea is more improbable than DICE making it. I mean, I guess EA doesn't hold a monopoly on the Star Wars video game license anymore.
No,
I suppose
they don't.
anybody could make Battlefront 3, but here's the conundrum. We all have pretty high expectations for an official third Battlefront, so
Boba's
anything less than
legendary
what we have in
OG.
2 is gonna feel like a downgrade. Like I said, DICE is in no position to make it, especially after losing so much senior talent in the last few years. And I want to believe you that another studio could do it, but the nail in the coffin for this idea is if that studio isn't working with the Frostbite engine, they'll have to start from scratch. Now, the Frostbite engine can apparently be licensed to other studios, but
Yes.
it's also notoriously hard to work with. So no studio in their right mind is going to license that software, pay the licensing fee to DICE and for the Star Wars IP, to then take years to teach their staff how to use it just to salvage the work that DICE has. If DICE
you
would even
could
let
use a
them use
totally
that work,
different
you know what I
engine. It would
mean?
just take you 4
see what a
years to do it.
clusterfuck this would be? So much awesome work has already been done that, like, scrapping all of that is just an awful idea. Whoever makes Battlefront
No.
3 needs...
I don't know about you guys, but I think one of the things that would appeal more to the general audience and not just Star Wars fan is if it was a legit competitive shooter like Call of Duty and Battlefield and other games. Battlefront 2 is very, very much a Twitch shooter and not super competitive. And I think if it was more competitive or up to the standards of a competitive shooter, more people would buy it and it would be an even bigger hit. But that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Book of Boba Fett was a dumpster fire. It's like they were actively trying to neuter the coolest non-Jedi. Yeah, kinda. About 2 hours now, JT. It's okay. I don't take attendance. You know, there's no demerits. You know, you don't have to write your name on the board 100 times, JT.
needs to build on what's already there, because that's the
We're gonna be
only way
ending
we're
it
going to
pretty
get
soon.
galactic conquest again. This is all besides the point that the perfect Battlefront 3 had already been canceled once before. Unfortunately, there's just too much drama surrounding the series. I mean, the third and fourth games were planned by Free Radical and LucasArts, but bad blood between the two companies got them both canceled. Former Free Radical developer and current lead designer at Naughty Dog, Michael Barclay, said, Star Wars Battlefront 3 was going to be legit incredible, and the fact it got canceled 2 yards from the finish line is an absolute crime.
Ooh.
Gamers don't know what they were robbed of. Oh, I know, Michael. I know that we were robbed of a contender for greatest Star Wars video game ever made. I know you guys were planning on having ground to space battles in the same scenario, the same
would've been
map.
awesome.
I know that you guys wanted to add Master Coda, Asajj Ventress.
One of my favorite things of Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original one, was the galactic campaigns where you could go around the galaxy and like take over planets, and you'd have to start in space, break through the space, then go on the ground, do the ground things, and then you could unlock things like extra back to tanks for your soldiers, or you know, there was like offensive, defensive, and utility things that you could unlock at each planet. I forget how it all worked out, but it was really cool, and that was the original Battlefront 2. I really liked how they did that. And then, of course, they had the 3 settings at the time because sequels didn't exist. So they had prequel, Galactic Civil War. So I guess there was only 2 games. Oh, no, and the third one was a mixture of the 2, I believe. Can't fire me because I quit.
And Ahsoka as playable heroes. Still don't have that. And that you could just take off with a ship and fly up to an enemy carrier, and then it's just like you're in the Battlefront 2 space battles.
Now hear this.
A 4th game was in the pre-planning phase, and it would have been all about what ifs, alternate scenarios. And I found some of the coolest fucking concept art that I can't believe none of this has been used to sell skins or anything. Like Dark Mace Windu,
I agree,
an alternate
Cannot.
scenario where his lightsaber exploded in the duel with Sidious, but he survived. Redeemed Vader. Look at that. Dark Jedi Leia, pre-cyborg Grievous. Shit, man, I'd pay good money for cosmetics like these. A Battlefront game that's all about what-if scenarios, it sounds
George
like
Both.
the perfect
Oh, no, that's
direction.
Dark
It's such
Obi-Wan.
a shame, man. Free Radical had so many incredible ideas that you can check out on this archive site if you want to be sad. Although the unfinished gameplay looks rough, it gives you a pretty good idea of how awesome this game would have been if it was complete. These concept art images remind me of that alternate ending in the episode 3 game where Anakin kills Obi-Wan in the Mustafar duel, and then he kills Palpatine and says,
No, the galaxy belongs to me.
and that was one of like the
Honestly, that would have been dope as shit if that would have happened and Anakin was running the show. That would have been cool as fuck, but, you know, we got what we got. You know, and I won't bitch about it, but that would have been cool as hell.
coolest Star Wars moments ever. So imagine creating an entire game based around moments and stories like that. What would have happened if Darth Vader lived, you know, after Luke saved him from the Emperor? What if Luke turned to the dark side at some point? Maybe these games are just too ambitious, and that's why we haven't seen a third one. Free Radical apparently was unable to meet milestones, deadlines, and eventually LucasArts
Sounds like another Star game we play.
got fed up with it. And though Battlefront 2015 offered a great spectacle, it just wasn't it, Chief. You know, nobody wants to have a neutered Battlefront again with no Clone Wars or space battles. You know what I mean? Anything less than what we currently have with Battlefront 2 would feel disappointing. Realistically, it's just such an imposing game for anyone to make. So with all that being said, I think it's apparent why Battlefront 3 hasn't been made, why it was canceled in 2008, and why EA
Don't try it, Anakin.
rejected
I have the
a
high
sales
ground.
pitch for it, and why nobody is currently working on it. It's a monumental task too easy to fuck up. I hope to see it one day. I mean, hopefully before I die, because there's a hole in my heart that only wrist rockets can fill. The series just might be too ambitious,
the
too much of a
wrist
risk,
rockets.
and not a single developer is in a position to build off the latest entry. So where does that leave us? Well, you and me, we're all just brothers and sisters.
Torsten, it would be a
without an
cool
army.
what-if story.
That is the tragedy of Star Wars Battlefront 3. But what do you think? Post your thoughts and ideas for your ideal Battlefront 3.
We're gonna
in the
discuss
comments
our
below.
ideas
like
here.
the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the Act Man for more awesome.
All right, that was the Act Man and why we won't see a Battlefront 3. I'll share that with you guys. Kick, chat is acting up again. I apologize for that, so I can't send anything over there. Guys, that was really good. Let me go to Big Self. Here's my thing. Canop said it earlier in chat. There's far too much of the safe route gone to Canop. There's far too much of the safe route going when it comes to game design and game releases. They don't like doing new and innovative things because they have to make that profit. It's always about profit. It's always about that money. It's always money. They have to make the most amount of money. And I really hope that we can kind of turn the corner on this and maybe get more innovations, because I don't remember if it was Canop or who, but we're going to see more we're going to see more game IPs die off if things don't change. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want certain game franchises to die off. I think they should live on, I don't want to say forever, but they should live on for a lot longer than they should live on for a lot longer. I hope we get a Battlefront 3. I hope we get a Battlefront 4 one of these days, you know, just like we hopefully get an actual Star Citizen game. You know, right now it's a alpha playable demo, you know. It's got some good points in it, but I really hope that we can get a better Star Citizen, a full and complete Star Citizen, a better Star Wars Battlefront, a newer Star Wars Battlefront. You know, maybe the next Battlefield game won't be so shit, you know. I don't know. Man's chat down more than the McDonald's ice cream machine. That's, you know, I don't understand why it keeps going down. Like, I've contacted Kick Support so many times about it, and they always tell me the same thing, and I do it, and it works for a while, and then I end up having to do it again, or I'll do it in advance, hoping that the Kick chat works, and then it doesn't work. So I don't know. I can't tell you what's wrong with it. Kick, fix your shit. Yeah, I hope many video game franchises don't die off. But if you guys have made it with me, have made it this far with me, and maybe I'll make a short about this and ask the same question. Let's see what Torsten's got to say first. Dude, that would be really cool, Torsten. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but to me, the real sequel is the Heir to the Empire books. You know, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. Yes, JT, they made it with me. The Heir to the Empire books are my favorite. They're absolutely my favorite. Thrawn, Jorah Kaboth, Mara Jade, you know, the twins. Those are fantastic books. It's one of my favorite series of books from the Star Wars universe. But I want to, since you guys have all made it this far into the stream, I want to pose this question for you to discuss amongst yourselves, to either bring up next week in, you know, Hot Take Tunaverse, or you can talk about it and leave your comment in the comment section. Do you think Star Citizen CIG is going to complete one game and then gonna try to sell off the engine and all the tools that they've created? Because the more and more I sit back and think about a lot of this stuff, I'm wondering if they're going to rush to get done Squadron 42 and then sell off the engine and all the development tools. That's what I think. Whole Armor, what's up? You're just coming to the end of the stream. I kind of gave everybody, I don't want to say a homework assignment, but a discussion point. Do you think that Star Citizen and CIG is going to complete Squadron 42 and then sell off Star Engine and all the developer tools that they've made over the years? It's all good, Whole Armor. I stream throughout the week. I don't really have a set schedule. My work schedule is constantly rotating and in flux, so I just try to get on when I can get on. If I can schedule one out ahead of time, I will. If you check me out on YouTube, because Kick doesn't really have a community thing that I can post on daily. If you check me out on YouTube, I do put up community things on that to let you guys know when I'm streaming and when I'm not streaming. But that's where, unfortunately, I got to leave it for tonight. I am going to, I got some things I got to do tonight before I go to bed, and then I got to get up real early in the morning. I got daddy duties to take care of, but I will be streaming at some point tomorrow. If Star Citizen behaves, it might be Star Citizen. Otherwise, there's a new game that just went to beta called the first Descendants. It looks like if Destiny 2 and Warframe had a love child, or, you know, my YouTube chat, it gets pretty dirty. So I guess hate fucked. This is the game that would come out. So yeah, you guys, thank you so very much for joining me tonight. Thank you for the 22 likes. Thank you for all the support you have given me. We're at 489 subs. We're so close to 500 on YouTube. We're one shy away from 30 on Kick. We're making our slow climb to 75 on Click on Kick. Thank you if you can hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit the follow button on Kick, and thank you all so very much. Enjoy the fermented tuna juice, and so long. Thanks for all the fish, and I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Later.